once more. Give a cold and frosty reception to our useless, ineffectual host, the one, the only, thank God, Mr. Johnny Host.
Hello, and welcome once more to Hey Hey, It's Doomsday.
Oh, sorry, wrong studio.
We have something very special for you tonight. This programme represents the lull in the middle of the series. You know, we've used all our good material to entice the viewers in, and we've saved some of the best for last. So at the moment, that kind of leaves us in a little bit of a no man's land. But what we've done for you is we've scraped enough bits and pieces together to put together what we refer to as the Art and Culture edition. So please sit back, relax, and we'll tell you a little bit about what's coming this evening.
Here's a roundup of tonight's supposedly tasteful items. A sophisticated gent who'll try anything at least once. Ooh. Yet another stereotype exploited.
Would you like a bat? No? Ah, well, you don't know what you're missing. You know what the doctor say? An onion a day keeps the fat ugly waff away. Ho ho ho!
And my own personal roundup of what's going on in entertainment. Later.
Well, we've not much of an audience tonight, so we haven't got much revenue coming in, so I'm afraid I can only pay the sound crew 50 cents an hour.
Is he for real?
I know they're not happy about that.
50 cents an hour? How are we meant to live on that?
But for now, I'd like to introduce you to a man of wealth and taste. He may well be the devil, but he goes under the name of Sir Digbert Walkingly Upstairs.
Oh, hello. Hello. Do come in. Come in, please. Please take a seat. Take a seat anywhere. Whiskey? Cigar? Cigar, anyone? Oh, well, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sir Digbert Walkingly Upstairs. Entrepreneur extraordinaire and self-confessed brilliant adventurer. In fact, the only reason they made a computer game out of Lara Croft instead of me is that I ain't got the tits for it. Anyway, so, yeah, are you sure you don't want some whiskey? I have one of the finest malts available. Jimmy's whiskey-flavoured extract. Tastes like the distilled excrement of my forefathers. Rather excellent. Please feel free to have a good look around. My mansion is absolutely full of artifacts and souvenirs from my various travels and expeditions. Well, as an example, this object is incredibly special to me. It reminds me of the time I did a trek through the foothills of the Himalayas. Now, one day I was in a most terrible fix. My automobile was stuck in the mud and would not budge. Well, this young Gurkha fellow came out of the bushes and offered to help me. So I suggested to him that he lie in front of the wheels, you know, to give it enough traction so that I may drive free. Anyway, the poor fellow's head popped like a melon. Suffice to say that I got the car free and was saved, and he gave me this object as a souvenir. Well, I sort of prized it from his cold dead hands, really. Well, I'll never forget that fellow, young, This reminds me of a trip I made to some indescribably unpronounceable Central Asian republic. Now, this young man was the leader of a rather strange nude religious sect. The Mufti and the Bufti, as I referred to him. The man put a price on my head for one unfortunate remark I made about his inadequate wedding tackle. I can't go back there. If you have time, I'll tell you about my most recent expedition. Now, I managed to draw the resources together to fund a trip to the Amazon basin, to visit a previously unknown tribe of pygmies living out there. So we arrived in Venezuela, and we headed out on the expedition almost straight away. 40 days through the most dense jungle and incredible humidity. I was travelling incredibly light at the time, with an entourage of 50 and 12 tons of hand luggage. Whereupon we came to this dense thicket of bush. And there we go. There was one of the fellows there, about 2 foot tall and built like a very small brick shithouse. Then he came up to me and looked me squarely in the crotch and pronounced to me that he was the leader of the tribe, to which I replied, "Please take my bags, sir." There in the village there was quite a large population, mostly females. Of course, they were very difficult to distinguish from the men, except they had slightly less pronounced facial hair. I found them very attractive. They reminded me a little of me. Well, of course, I set up camp and decided to go native among the locals, learning their customs of snake throwing and ritual wife eating. They also have this rather strange but distasteful custom of feeding rectally. So one morning, the chief awoke me with an offering of fresh mango for breakfast. Whole, of course. Ouch. Before taking me off into the jungle for a very special ceremony. It appeared to be some kind of ritual orgy where all of the tribe's women were gathered together, naked in front of me. I think there were about 40 of them, all expecting me to sire their children. Well, after 40 post-coital cigarettes, I came around again, and the chief decided to take me on an annual hunt for tigers. I told him tigers lived in Asia, but he wasn't deterred. Soon enough, we caught one and shot it down from the trees with a blowpipe, and feasted quite heartily on it. I tell you, I couldn't poo properly for a week. A man needs his vegetables, you know. Well, 9 months later, after living as one of them, so with tattoos and piercings galore, bones in my ears, I decided I should pack up and leave. Well, quite frankly, they didn't want me to go. 85 mouths to feed and all that. I think they were hounding me for a couple of years for child support payments. Well, lucky for me, they have no idea where I live. I did, however, take a souvenir. One of the local delicacies. Had to have it surgically removed, of course. Oh, are you off? Oh, please don't go. I still have my rare collection of dog bones to show you. No? No. Oh well. More Jimmy's whiskey-flavoured extract for me.
If you can tell me what the point of that last item was, then you can enter our competition. Simply send your answer and $50 to this address. And we'll reveal the most popular choice next week. Yes, $50. See, I'm trying.
Better right, bastard.
We interrupt this broadcast for no particular or apparent reason. Well, I suppose we could mention some thoroughly unnewsworthy item about some poor youth who went missing on his way to the kitchen, or some athlete who may or may not have done something naughty. But we don't have one. In fact, we're only doing this to prove that we are actually broadcasting live and not constantly repeating the same old news, because let's face it, it's all pretty much the same anyway. The truth is, I'm going through a very costly divorce at the moment, and quite frankly, I need the overtime. Well, there's my few dollars earned. We can now resume normal programming. Well, I say normal, but this show is clearly just a pile of infested rat droppings. And that Johnny Host,
Excuse me.
the only thing he should be doing on TV is mopping the studio floors. Anyway, I'm Zebedee Fanfare. We now return to your program.
Here's something brand new for this week. Here's Mr. Jonas Dartmoor with his personal roundup of what's on in entertainment this week.
That's right, Mr. Host. Here's tonight's roundup of entertainment gossip. John Howard is set to star as Penfold in Danger Mouse the Musical. A new twist in the Britney Spears story. She now claims to be the reincarnation of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. Shock discovery. It turns out Dame Edna Everage is actually a man. Well, it's a shock to me anyway. I've been having carnal thoughts about her for years. Clint Eastwood to play Johnny Rotten in his forthcoming biographical picture, Go Ahead Punk, Make My Day. And finally, Some celebrity has an affair with another celebrity, divorces celebrity wife, marries celebrity mistress, adopts 10 third world children, has new affair with first celebrity wife, adopts more children, divorces second celebrity wife, remarries first and auctions off adopted children to pay for new celebrity mistress. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Dartmoor. Well, now it's your favourite time of the night. There's a commercial break. We'll see you afterwards.
Still to come. One man and his filthy little potatoes. That annoying Frenchman we told you about earlier. And some more of me. Oh, we've done that bit. Bugger.
Those community announcements, they crack me up every time. Oh, hello, welcome back.
Prick.
I'd like to take you down to the farm and introduce you to another friend of mine. I've got quite a few of them, haven't I? A Mr. Alberto Potato, who's going to show us how to grow some beautiful organic vegetables. I hope you learn something. And it's cultured too.
Hello there, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Farming Today. Today we're going to concentrate on some beautiful organic vegetables. Because you like vegetables, don't you filthy fucking prick? Oh, hello there. Now, as promised last week, we're back on the farm. And the bananas have been a bit shaky this year, I must admit. But let's take a look at my hybrid crop of potatoes and parsnips, which I brought back last year from the outer Hebrides. Now, as you can see, the bananas here have had terrible trouble this year. I don't know where the fucking hell I got those from, but look, they're all over the shop. But this little fella, oh, let's just get a zoom on this. Take a look at this. My prize tomato there, just growing nicely. It's a lovely little fella. Oh, and I've got a few parsnips going up here as well. Beautiful little baby parsnips there with it. Oh, shit. Oh, that's fucked, that one. But anyway, they'll come up a treat round about October time, something like that. Now, as you can see, I've been experimenting with two different types of potato here. There's my processed potato and my organic potato here, which is a very special one, and I think it's just about ready to sprout. So let's take a look, see if we can coax one out with a bit of magic, eh? Oh, aye. Right now, there's the little fella, nice and fresh out of the ground. Let's just give him a helping hand. I'll flick his little head off. There he is. Oh, look at that lovely bit of potato inside there. Beautiful. Now, oh, here he goes. Oh, look at that. Fresh, lovely potato there. Wouldn't you just like that with a fish finger or two? Oh, he's gone now. Oh, but not to worry, though. There'll be plenty more where he came from. Ooh. Oh, there's another one there. I'll pop him down here with the others. All right, look at that now. I've got a fabulous little crop of potatoes here, all ready for next year. One little fella coming through there as well. Put this big fella next to him. As we parsnip there, it's fallen over a bit, but never mind. Oh, look now. Now, this little potato here, he's been in the ground for some time. Oh, he's more than mature. I'll save him for a bit later. Oh, well, that's about all we got time for from today on the farm. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. Why don't you join me tomorrow for today's farming and yesterday's farming today? Tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Potato. He's gone a little bit strange since the last time I saw him. Well, anyway.
We interrupt this program to bring you a breaking colloquial news item. My mate just got bashed by 4 young galahs outside a servo. I love this informal matey news. Gives television journalists a total lack of authority. It's not what I pay my license for. Oh, we don't have to pay a TV license here. Oh well, I guess you can broadcast any old crap then. Back to Hey Hey It's Doomsday. Case in point, really.
Here's an interview I conducted a short time ago. I was lucky enough to meet up with a certain Mr. Biff Bourguignon, a famous artist from the 1980s. This is what I found out about him.
Bernard Bourguignon, or Biff, as he likes to be called, is well known amongst art circles as an innovative painter of the French tradition. His most famous paintings, Croque Monsieur à la plage and Les Champignons du Mort, take centre place in a permanent exhibition of his work at the Tate Gallery, London. In the late 1980s, disillusioned with the art world, he disappeared completely from the public eye, apparently living for some years as a recluse at his private country retreat. However, he has recently emerged again from his apparent retirement, taking the limelight again, not as a traditional painter, but instead as a conceptual artist. His daring and confrontational new works are sparking debate and controversy around the world, yet selling to private collections for vast sums of money. Last month, I was lucky enough to be granted a short interview with Mr. Biff Bourguignon while on a promotional tour here in Sydney. This is what I found out about his new artistic direction.
So, Mr. Bernard Bourguignon. Biff Bourguignon. Biff. Well, thank you anyway for granting me this interview.
Bonjour and merci, you capitalist swine in a suit.
Okay. So firstly, tell me a little about what made you withdraw from fame and fortune for a simple life on the farm.
Just what are you implying, pig dog? That all Frenchmen are peasants and have been living like some slack-jawed yokel on the farm eating grass for 15 years? If your mother was here, I would spit on her. Well, essentially, yes, you are right. I took some time in the country to escape the silliness.
And what silliness is that?
Are you making the monkey out of me? The stupid art critics and buyers who buy and praise my paintings for no other reason than they have my name on them. I could paint any old crap, and I mean any old crap, and it sells like the hotcakes. My last paintings, well, all I did was put paint on my bottom and sat on the canvas, and it was a hit, a big hit. I didn't want to be a part of that no more.
So what made you change your mind?
The money, you stupid little man. I pieced it up the wall on the loose cows and fast gambling. Well, then, I thought a little bit more about the painting, and then I remembered the arrogant capitalist art market, buying up the items with just the artist's name on them. Well, I wanted to make a big statement. I thought if I could sell any old bag of shat, I may as well try to sell a bag of shat.
So you could say that you've regained your passion for art then?
I certainly did. I found out I could churn out the work on a twice daily basis. I started using other fluids too. I pieced my way back to fame and fortune, oui.
Quite.
Biff decides to prepare for me an intimate demonstration of his newfound techniques. Meanwhile, I take some time to look around the gallery at his most recent exhibits.
Find the space. Alright, I am ready. smoke my bone, you rich upper-class wankers. I take your money, your filthy money, and I give you this in return.
So wouldn't you say that you're capitalising on your successful name, just like the galleries who sell your work? Or is it that you simply like throwing around your bodily excreta like a monkey?
I crap on your soul, monsieur host! How dare you make such an accusations? I am no greedy, filthy capitalist or no dirty little marmosette. I have something to do. I will deal with you shortly.
That's better.
So,
Well, monsieur host, I have, cracked one out in your coat pocket. What are you going to do about it?
well, presumably sell it for $50,000.
Quite right.
And I did. Sorry guys, there's nothing left.
Right, that's it. I'm off.
I'm sure I'll find someone else to do the sound. Actually, I've already got somebody else lined up.
Hello!
How are you?
It is so good to be alive again! Heinrich did a very good job putting me back together. He even put my hands on the right way round.
Are you sure you're capable of single-handedly mixing the sound?
I am sure it is up to my scientific mind. I can work out this little contraption. Now tell me, what does this button do?
Ooh.
Why would they put a self-destruct button on the bloody mixing desk, honestly?
Well, my producers just told me in my hairpiece, that that's all we have time for this week. So I bid you farewell, and if there is a next time, it looks like I'll be doing it all by myself. Oh, joy. Well, goodbye for now. Mr. Dartmoor, it's over to you. Yeah.
Dankeschön!
Next time on Hey Hey It's Doomsday. Oodles and oodles of the same old guff. You can go now.
Lederhosen.